This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be joined with Frank Smith. I've been given orders by Parsons. He's given me the reins. You know, I'm allowed to interview you, mate.
We've got to sort of pull him back a bit, haven't we, Parsons? He's given you the reins to, like, I mean, I think you should start telling him who he can and can't interview as well. Should we go in there and, yeah.
100%. Mate, do you know what the reason is, yeah? I sent him a WhatsApp because, you know, you had the Zoom yesterday. Yeah. And he was like, you know, I'm running late, I might have football, this and that. I was like, mate, if you want to, like, if you can't do it, I'm more than happy to do it. And he just sent me a text saying, absolutely not. Like, he's precious to you, mate.
What, me?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to look at whether I do interviews with Parsons anymore at this rate. I can't believe that you have to get approval. You know, I'm not even anyone special.
You are a little bit, mate.
No, not me, mate, not me. But I'll talk to him after this and we'll get on him. Got him football as well. He should be dedicated to the job. I'm not worrying about football.
I know, mate. I know. It's a bit embarrassing. But, you know, you said that you aren't special, but someone that is special is Anthony Joshua, and he is fighting tonight. No, he's not fighting tonight. He's fighting Saturday night. Robert Helenius, the card is saved. How worried were you going into this? I know you sort of spoke about it yesterday, but how worried were you going into this that, you know, we might not even have a fight on Saturday night? Was that even an option?
Yeah, look, there were times where I thought maybe we wouldn't be able to get it sorted. I think we're so used to having bad news now that you just get used to it, like completely, like as in it just goes over your head and you're like, right, let's just come up with a solution and move forward and get something done. But there were times, you know, Saturday evening, I think we were not sure, Sunday, not sure, and then by Monday afternoon we got into a good place with it. And we have to thank everyone involved, you know, in getting and making that happen, you know, especially our broadcast partners, DAZN, for the work they put in, you know, because, you know, without them it would have been near impossible to do, obviously. So we have to thank them for their support in making it happen, and Anthony, of course, as well, for, you know, because he could have just said, I'll leave it. You've got to think this is high-level sport. You've been training for something, and you've got, you know, huge events in your sort of eye line as well. And he could have said, no, I'll leave it. But he didn't. He decided to fight, and you have to respect him for that as well. So we're in for a great night on Saturday night. It's obviously the night, not the night we originally wanted, but I think we came up with a strong solution that delivers, you know, a great night of entertainment.
I know you don't represent him, but what is the process now you go through with Dillian Whyte? What is the process now for you? I know you don't really represent him, but how do you follow this through?
No, look, he's got to go through that process, and we've got to allow him that process, just like, you know, Conor, Benn's been through that, and other fighters have as well. But that's for him to do now. You know, I can't go into detail around it all because that's a private matter for Dillian to deal with the various parties. But yeah, you got to let him go through that, and let's see where we fall.
How much do you think Matchroom learnt from the whole Conor Benn situation, the way you handled it? Looking at now, when you sort of have a situation like this again, so close to a fight, do you feel like you learnt a lot from it?
Yeah, look, you can't directly compare the two. It's different situations, different details and facts around it all. But the key thing overall is we did learn. And life's all about learning and taking those learnings and improving moving forward. And that's what we did. And not saying we're the victims, but we'll never win. People will never go there because they'll just go, why didn't you do this before? And it's like, well, you know, we didn't do everything right, did we? Obviously, you know, things could have been better. And this time round, you know, within a couple of hours of us all being able to get on the phone, we're all in different time zones, people are asleep because it came in at early hours, probably 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We all got on the phone and we made the calls and we announced within like 2 hours, as I say, of everyone being able to speak to each other.
Definitely. Well, obviously we saw Eddie Hearn with Simon Jordan yesterday. You was mentioned about a call, Robert Smith calling Simon Jordan saying that you spoke to him on Friday. Wasn't the case. So what was really going on?
Look, I think that was Simon Jordan trying to create an illusion that we actually didn't act as swiftly as we did. You know, because otherwise, why would you say it? I don't know where Friday came from. Even if I'm sure you can speak to Robert Smith. He'll confirm the first time we spoke was at 10:48 on Saturday morning. That was the first conversation Robert and I had. And yeah, look, but let's try and move forward from that. But the key is with that is that he's got a voice that people listen to in Simon Jordan. And people take everything he says as Bible and fact, when the reality is it's not. You know, and that's the scary thing. Someone can say something like that, and then we look like we're lying, which isn't correct. So, you know, we do have to call that out and ensure that, you know, people understand that we did everything the right way.
Absolutely. I know you sort of spoke a lot about this on Charlie yesterday, so I don't want to keep too much of the same questions. One thing you didn't speak about was Richard Riakporhe pulled out of the purse bids against Jai Opetaia. Another sort of the second time now you've dealt with Boxxer and they pulled out purse bids. How are you sort of feeling with it all now? It must be frustrating for it to happen the second time.
Yeah, look, firstly, Jai Opetaia is the sort of victim here because he's been through it twice. You had obviously the Masterneck position, which then Boxxer got Masterneck to pull out so he could fight Chris Billam-Smith. That went on for 2 months, those negotiations. Then Riakpohre was next in line. Those discussions went on, and then the purse bid they pulled out the day before. So our focus is to get Jai a fight. He's been out the ring too long. Obviously had the injury, and now we need to get him back out. We believe he's the best cruiserweight in the division. Then, obviously after that, when it comes to Richard, I have a very good relationship with Richard. Even since he left Matchroom, I've always got on very well with him. And, I've never said anything detrimental to Richard's career, but he's getting advised by the wrong people. He's turning down the opportunity to fight for a world title because on the basis that Boxxer and Ben Shalom don't want to lose a purse bid. That's all it comes down to.
So Eddie said this. He said it was the fact that they didn't have the money to compete with a purse bid or didn't want to lose it. I suppose you back up the point.
Yeah, 100%. It's happened twice now. And that's not what... You can't come into the sport saying we're all about the fighters, we're all about the sport. It's a load of rubbish. Just be honest. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that people can't have their own... Of course, people have different agendas that they have to work towards. That's fine. That's life. But if you're open about it and honest, it's very hard for anyone to say anything negative because you go, well, this is the... And if you sign with me, this is what I'm going to do. And you decide to sign with him on the basis that I'm all about Boxxer and the business and Sky, then that's fine. But it's not the best way to represent a fighter in their career, in a short career, and the ability for them to make the maximum amount of money.
And another thing, is it even more frustrating where you wanted to get a quick defence in for Opetaia, Boxxer blocked that, Boxxer didn't deny that, but Boxxer denied yourself doing that, then now that they pulled out the purse bid, do you feel like this is just a complete waste of time and there's no no reason for Ben Shalom and Boxxer to even cause a block to it?
Yeah, but that's what, pretenders in the sport will do. They don't know what they're doing. They're out of their depth. So be it.
Ben Shalom out of his depth then, do you think?
Yeah, completely out of his depth.
I'll just wrap this up now. Frank Smith, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. We'll be chatting to Parsons later and chasing up with him. So thank you, mate. I appreciate it.